practical highlight to all of you. Next. If you look at today, the environmental issue, because you all represent a different domain of your discipline. But if you look at today, the environmental issues, it arouses us. For example, of course, deforestation, you know that. The kind of waste generation and the water pollution, contamination, air pollution, and greenhouse gas emission. Of course, this parameter everybody knows. I need not highlight what is happening. But one realization we should make, it all happened on based on two parameters. One is population explosion, then the human activity, or in the name of development. So these are the very important parameter and become the problem today what we are facing. Next. And that I'm going to touch one important aspect, the climatic change. It all happened on the consequence of the parameter where I showed you the previous slide. Today all the environment degradation, it well plugged with climatic change. This is now one issue. We need not even segregate the problem now. Now we can integrate everything into climatic change. Now the climatic change is to become the problem and affect and everything into. So that's the reason if you could look at the agriculture, and we know, even a plus 2 student or even the school children know about it, the loss of biodiversity. We agree with that. Because the climatic change, early time used to say, and because of this pollution and the degradation happened, and especially for the biodiversity. Now we say the climatic change influence on the biodiversity. And similarly, and the kind of the situation which happened now in Chennai, in Mumbai, in Kolkata, or any city for the matter, the flood. Early time we used to say no rain at all. Now rain all the time. And yesterday we estimated 40% of the whole year of annual rainfall happened within 3 days in Chennai. What will do that? See, the rain is good for us. The rain is the boon or a gift, whatever name you can say that. But now it become a great nuisance. What is the reason for it? It's climatic change. Then second, if you could see that the loss of fertility, and especially coastal area. Then if you look at the unpredictable farming condition and the increase in incidence of pest and vector-borne disease, and the kind of disease which you could see that COVID over now almost. Now our country suffers with dengue, chikungunya, and whatever, even swine flu. Now Chennai is blessed with the swine flu. So this is the situation. But what is happening is because the kind of climatic change or the kind of the influence or the kind of activity we made, and it's become the big nuisance or very great disaster to the agriculture or in general to the environment. Next. I'm just showing a map, the world map, and where and how the agricultural product or agricultural the crop production which is reduced, at the same time climatic change is helped to enhance the crop production. We should also appreciate the positive side of and our climatic change. The people clearly say there are country is blessed with very great crop production out of climatic change. At the same time, our country is facing drought, poverty. So now the situation, now you may have a question. The climatic change is good or bad? Or good or bad? So now this is the situation. So by having it, and I always feel now, the coin, what you hold in your hand, has both sides. That is what we say that. The coin has both sides. Positive, negative. And hereafter, whatever you do, there will be a positive, there will be negative. You cannot estimate this is sin or this is great. Now, coin is the best example for us to maintain. If you start any program, you think there is a positivity, there is no negative. So, on base of this, the climatic change has this problem now. Next. Where it is clearly given that we may face food insecurity. I think the great people like Dr. David and Professor Saminathan contributed for food security, because today our country is blessed with food security and we are able to feed more than 130 crore people even today happy. Just 4 or 5 years back I visited Russia. It was in the meeting, it was in a star hotel. You may wonder that. The star hotel, if you visit our star hotel, if at the perfect meals, at least you will have minimum 20 varieties. But in Russia, in the star hotel, only 5 items are served in a buffet.
Okay.
The reason behind, we are blessed with food security. But there, we may say they are developed country, but no food. And there only we remember this kind of great people. They supported us. And Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, and of course there are controversial matter also there, but how things works. So that's the reason, and now it is estimated that in Africa there is a possibility of the reduction of our crop production is 1 to 18%. There is a possibility. And Europe, it may be 11 to 17%. And India is going to be affected more because it may be 20 to 40%. Because it is not only the kind of the food insecurity, the kind of development we undertake, because real estate business, and most of that is going away from the agriculture. But I tell you with a humble feeling, the agriculture is going to be a big business after 20 years. Please give a hand. Because we may say today the real estate, because the kind of advertisement we are seeing, like Tony and many other prominent people are saying that this is the land you can buy. But I tell you, there will be a situation after 20 days, 20 years, and those who are having food will be the richest people. So please prepare our farming community. Please don't shy away your farming system, your farming, so that you will get enough food for the people. Next. Here, you know that very much. I need not justify it. The nutritional quality is coming down. It's because of the various climatic changes. For example, in Kerala, and last week I was there in Kerala, all cardamom crop production is declined. Because total climatic condition, change in the climatic condition, now is raining too much. So now the cost just 500, early time used to be 1,000, 1,500, it says now 500. So now Similarly, because of that, the nutritional quality which may come down, and so that the people will have a malnutritional problem again. Early time with food, without food they will have malnutrition. Even now with food, there is a possibility for malnutrition. That's what the people say, Horlicks, and they are additionally adding, Boost, they are additionally adding, saying that it will remove the malnutritional issue with the children. So how things are really working on that. And as time goes, there is a possibility, there is an increased food price. Now we are facing, and especially in Tamil Nadu, this month, 1 month, Protasi, vegetable prices are gone up. Now most of the people are rushing towards non-vegetarian shop. But how things happening? So that's what we should also remember, and how this kind of situation is going to happen, and also the heat wave, the drought impact, which really affect the crop production to a great extent to 7.3%. I think I request the scientists, please make note of it. And this is my humble suggestion. Develop the proposals, because you are blessed with IRA. Develop proposal how this kind of situation can be overcome. That is the reason I am not saying this is a mere presentation. And I am also giving a little suggestion and for your consideration to take further and work on that. The next very important aspect, how the climatic change really affecting the human health. And as you know that, if you look at air pollution, we say, what's its effects? The people say we may have more asthma and cardiovascular disease because of the air pollution. And if you look at the change in vector ecology, I am witnessing the vector ecology totally changed. It also adapting or acquiring new adapting mechanism, though the same water, but you are seeing the kind of change in vector ecology, and where the malaria, dengue, and chikungunya, this kind of disease may increase. And even after the COVID, I have already mentioned it, and how this dengue, which is really predominant from Delhi to and even in Kanyakumari. So that is where is working on to that. And due to the climatic change, there is a possibility for increasing allergen. And we will have more respiratory allergic and asthma, and similarly water quality. You know that the kind of water quality we have, then water and food supply back, there is a possibility for again the malnutrition, the diarrheal disease, and the environmental degradation, and there is a possibility for forced migration, and similarly the extreme heat wave, which brings so much of problem to us. And similarly, and there is a possibility even for mental health problem and on base of the climate change. Because if you look at in summer, most of the people, and especially the aged people, are really struggling with the heat wave. And this is the point I think we should remember it, and how this climatic change, because of the environmental problem, and what are the consequences which we are going to have further. Next. Then I am here highlighting only one point. It is estimated even additionally 2,50,000 and death may occur hereafter because of the climatic change, and because of the malnutrition, the malaria, the diarrhea, and heat stress. And it may be by hypothetical. I tell you, the climate, when you talk about climatic change, the hypothetical statement is made. When you say hypothetical, both sides, it may happen, it may not happen. But this is the hiding principle. The government or the scientists are in the process to undertake a research study to nullify the effect. But it is not the truth. So because we know that normally the hypothesis we normally do in a research, it's a hypothesis means there is a probability, there is a possibility. But then if you want to really defeat it, and you should do research and overcome the issue. Next. And this is another interesting point, I think we should remember it. The climatic change also affects renewable energy. It's a very interesting way, I read recently. Now, because of the climatic change, there is a possibility increase in cloud cover and decrease in high velocity wind. And same way, the seasonal and annual wind speed is likely to decrease in North India and increase along the South India. So where the state like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha is likely to benefit because of the climate change. Now, this is the point we should make it very carefully, the statement one. The climatic change, in consequence of it, there is a possibility in towards North India, the cloud effect will be more. Then, if you want to tap solar energy, there is a possibility for reduction. Because now the whole government is working towards it. How to enhance the energy production from solar. But it's a consequence. See the consequence. The North India will affect. South India, there are states which going to have much more clarity so that you can take more energy. We cannot say we can balance it, but the consequence which really going to affect us very much. Next. Then similarly, the people say in next 50 years, the solar radiation that is going to be reduced from 10 to 15%. And of course, today China is taking a great lead on that. But now we have started. But at the same time, there is a shortfall we may come across as a challenge. Then this renewable energy, tapping renewable energy may have a little challenging or have problem. So that is why we are going to work on that. And especially Kerala and Tamil Nadu may have the benefit, and because they may generate 6.11% GWP and 17.67% of solar power, and which may be happy news, but it is not for the whole country, only to these two states. Next. So now, keeping this in mind, the government somewhere is really adopting some mechanism. Thanks to the United Nations protocol and the kind of the organization works towards it, they are adopting. And if you want to even take any project out of it, and academic institution, you should do from that. For example, National Solar Mission 2010, National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency, and the National Mission on Sustainable Habitat, National Water Mission, and National Mission for Sustaining and Himalaya Ecosystem, the National Mission for Green India, and National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. As an exposure, I am showing to you, you know that. But I tell you, there are process is there to counter the climatic change. So that is the interesting point. No one is sitting idle. Somewhere our policy makers, with the help of scientists, an adapting program, and hope shortly we may overcome this problem so that what is predicted in the climatic change and on the environment and maybe get reduced very shortly. Next. And of course, the World Climatic Change Program, then Global Framework for Climatic Service, the World Climatic Service Program, and Commission for Climatology and Global Climatic Observatory System. So this two, one is national level and another one is international level. These are the program which is already in front of us. So we should take an advantage, and if we could adapt, and we will have so much change or counter the environmental problem in our country. So that is way, and in conclusion I want to make one appeal to all of you. Now even under NIRF, all academic institutions, or NAC, they are bringing lot of eco-friendly practices. Suppose if you are adopting eco-friendly practices, you will get a point. According to me, the academic institution can transform our nation. I have two examples to quickly point it out. When I was an Enviro Club coordinator in Loyola College, I have done one small project, segregation of waste. Under me there are 300 students. 300 students, what I have done is, we purchased, it was in the year of 1994. We purchased different color dustbin, green color, blue color, red color. We placed, of course, go in the noses. We kept in the campus. Then asked student, please segregate up your waste. Green color, degradable waste. Then blue color, some litters, leaves and all this. Red color, all the bottles and all kind of, even the laboratory, their broken glasses are all placed. It happened very well, more than a month. Somewhere media came to know about this process. Then the Hindu came and written a write-up. It came in the paper next day. The next day I got officials from corporation. They came and asked what you've done. Then we explained to the whole process. They started it. The division 78 and 79 in Chennai. That was the first initiation of segregation of waste. But today, segregation of waste has become the very important task for the corporation. Successfully they are doing. But the seed from a student and institution, that will improve. Thank you. Because I have seen today so much of cleanness and segregation is happening. And in the second example I should tell you, in 2002 there was a flood. Because as an example, we scientists share among us. Then there was a struggle. What is the problem? Then corporation commissioner had a meeting. Then CM invited two professors. One is from Loyola, and another professor from Anna University, and another professor from Madras University, Karmegam and Jivananda. We all went. Then we suggested. We realized the stormwater drain is not properly done. That was the finding or observation we made. Then they asked us to undertake a project. Then the Ministry of Information Technology given 62 lakhs. We studied 3 years, and that work is presented again to corporation. Now that becomes the reference work. Now almost they laying down 600 kilometers stormwater drain with the proper slope and that. Where, as he said, Sandar Kumar, the media people, whenever there is a water locking, they will come. Then we will say this is the work which we have done. And I think you asked the corporation commissioner to know more about it. Now I am very happy to see Our Chief Minister, Mr. Stalin, very often in Chennai used the stormwater drain. Every time you ask stormwater drain, no one knows. But now they have a great care on this. Why I am sharing this to you happily? The academic institution, a professor, think you can make a change.
Yeah.
With this, I make this presentation in tribute of Dr. David. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.